Lil Wayne's first week sales are not what you think. What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, I know there's been a lot of talk about the Carter 6 this week. It's only been like 2 days, and we got a lot of highs, a lot of lows. A lot of people like myself we just weren't feeling the album. We didn't think it was a good representation of what we've waited. Not we. I know a lot of you waited for the Carter 6. I was pretty much indifferent. I wasn't like on pins and needles waiting for this album, but a lot of you were. And I feel like Lil Wayne wielded it like a sword. I feel like he kind of played with a lot of people's emotions for years. The Carter 6, and the way he spoke on it, it made it seem like, oh my God, this thing was going to be the end all be all of what rap was waiting for. I kind of think he used that title a little bit much. And I know a lot of artists do that. They take a beloved piece of artwork or a beloved series and they kind of milk it and they kind of part 2, part 3, da da da. I don't know many people who are on a part 6, but the Carter 6 finally dropped after all this hullabaloo or whatever you want to call it and hubbub and blase blah. But the numbers are in what they think the numbers are going to do. But first, let's just recap what's going on. We had Wayne kind of boo-hooing about not getting his dream job, which was the Super Bowl in New Orleans, and a lot of people were divided about whether Wayne should or should not have received it over Kendrick, being as though it was his hometown. A lot of people dove in and blamed Jay-Z. A lot of people had a lot of not nice things to say about Rock Nation, a lot of not nice things to say about the NFL, and especially us K-Bots. We were delirious and delusional, and how dare you disrespect Wayne Head. I think a lot of it was hyperbolic, and I think that a lot of you people just wanted a reason to come at Kendrick's recent run against Drake and a lot of people like that. So a lot of you used Wayne for your get back, and you kind of used him as a doorstop, right, to try to close Kendrick's door. But here we are, the Carter 6, which was so important when the Super Bowl dropped. I believe he made an announcement, some kind of commercial or video or something where he announced that the Carter 6 was coming, right? And everybody was blah, blah, blah. And I think a lot of people expected this to be way more. Some of you are satisfied, but most are not. Let's just be honest. And these sales, I would think, would reflect that, right? Now, some of you are going to say, there's some good and bad I want to talk about with these sales. The first things first, the sales are not, the good thing is about this, the sales are not bad, what they're saying that he's projected to do. So let me read this article and have a conversation. Lil Wayne's The Carter 6 first week sales are impressive. The Carter 6 may be polarizing, but Lil Wayne is still pulling heavyweight numbers in 2025. It's been 2 days since Lil Wayne dropped the Carter 6, and judging by online reactions, the reception has been lukewarm at best. Still, love it or not, the numbers tell a different story as previously reported. The album topped the US iTunes chart shortly after its release. I believe they said it's going to be #1 on Apple iTunes. Now that it's racking up an even more impressive milestone. The Carter 6 is projected to move between 120,000 to 140,000 units in its first week, enough to debut at #2 on the Billboard 200. That's impressive, gang. Let's just be honest. Now, you could say, okay, Kendrick did a lot more. He did 100,000 more than that in his first week. A lot of people did a lot more, so you could say they made the right choice. You could say that, or you could just say everybody's number's going to be different. We're in a different environment, and everybody's going to sell differently. Lil Wayne hasn't had an album in, I believe, 6-7 years or something like that. So you could go either way with it. But let me continue. It's been a few. I think The Funeral was the last album he did, and here we are, right? His debut on number two. The album only ahead of it is Morgan Wallen's I'm the Problem, which continues to dominate the top spot for the 4th consecutive week. Meanwhile, Addison Rae's Fame is a Gun is expected to land at 35 to 40,000 units. So he picked a bad week. That country album is killing everything, gang. I'm just going to be honest. Had he waited a little bit, I don't know how long it would take for that album to die down, but that's just a rough album to try to compete with. But he's doing his numbers regardless. Sure, Wayne's latest release is a far cry from the massive debut of the Carter 3, which sold over 1 million units in its first week. But in today, that was a long time ago, gang. Carter 3 was a very long time ago, and it was a different era. They're selling straight up physical CDs, and Wayne was a monster back then. Let's just be honest. It wasn't this much competition in his way. He's like one of the top 3 rappers in the game at that time. Let's just be honest. So selling 1 million wasn't sounded about right back then. But in today's streaming-heavy landscape, these numbers are nothing to scoff at. It's one of the strongest first week showing of the year so far, proving that Wayne's legacy still commands attention even in a changed industry. Now, I'm just going to be honest. A lot of people did not like the album, and I really truly believe he got these numbers because so many people didn't like the album. I know that sounds crazy, but it was so many people saying they didn't like the album that a lot of people went and wanted to hear it just because it was so many reactors saying it's terrible, it's terrible. A lot of people went to hear it for themselves. A lot of people listened to it 4 or 5 times just to see if they agreed. So I'm going to say that bad publicity, let's be honest, I don't think nobody outside of a few bots in my comments that's putting fire emojis, it ain't a lot of people saying this album is fire, right? Some people are coming at my neck calling me this, that, and the third, but other than that, like some guys like, you're in your car. Like, right, okay, it's fine, it's whatever. I like my car, okay? But some people are like defending it, and it's a handful. But for the most part, most people, all walks of life, all different colors, I've seen they're not feeling this album. And I think that contributed to the wide range of different people wanting to go hear it. I think if this album, let's just say this. If this album had came out good or like borderline, like it was just okay, this much attention would not have triggered it. So a lot of these people that went to listen because of a negative attention. Let's just be honest. There's no lead single. He didn't do much promoting of this. Let's just be honest. He mentioned it here and he mentioned it there, but that's not promotion, right? So yes, he had a buzz, but I think that most of the buzz came from all of the people with their hands over their face, like, what is this nonsense? Da, da, da. I think that pushed the album. Now, let's just be honest. I want to get to the bad news. And everything isn't measured by Spotify. But this other article tells you that it's not doing well on Spotify, doing really, really bad. Let me just continue. Lil Wayne's The Carter 6 draws middling opening day streams. Lil Wayne has not been receiving the most positive feedback for his new album, and the streams sort of reflect that. Lil Wayne is undoubtedly an all-time living legend in rap, and fans are impressively still holding him to that standard. They should, because the Louisiana native can still dominate a song when he's featured and has solo hit-making abilities too. So when folks feel that he's underperforming, they are going to let their thoughts fly. So let me just get to the numbers. So the numbers here, with the overall middling feedback in mind, seeing the opening day streaming numbers hasn't been shocking. According to Kirko, Lil Wayne pulled an average of 14.2 million plays on Spotify. Now to the naked eye, that sounds good. For those wondering, the Carter 5, which is now almost 7 years old, drew over 66 million. That's a serious drop. 66 million for the Carter 5, which had bigger promotion. He had a lead single, the song with Game Time, the song with Swizz Beatz. He had a whole rollout. I don't think this received a rollout. I think it received noise and people contemplating what it was going to be and what it was going to do, but I don't think it received a real rollout, right? And I think it's tough because a lot of people are kind of against Wayne low-key in a way because he was so adamant about he should have been a Super Bowl. A lot of people took that as like crying and being like a sore loser. But yeah, he earned 14.2 million first day streams on Spotify, which is not that great in this world. So it's like hit or miss. It's the up and down situation. It's not just all shits and giggles. He's number 2 on blah, blah, blah. So let's just, for instance, GNX only a half a day. So Wayne got 14.2. Kendrick Lamar's GNX got 44 million in a half of a day. In half a day. So there is no comparison. It's not even close. Lil Wayne, the Carter 6 was the full day. They had the full day and only got 14 million streams. So it was the right choice. The NFL made the right choice. The fans made the right choice. Lil Wayne is not as popular as people want to believe and want to make you believe and come at you for. They want to come at me in my comments. Let me continue. Some Kendrick Lamar's fans have been having fun with the news by pointing out how GNX accrued over 44 million streams just several hours into his debut. Of course, they're doing this now because of how upset Wayne and his supporters were after K-Dot was named the Super Bowl halftime show performer in his hometown of New Orleans. So this is what it is, man. Wayne's tour is looking good. The tour started, I think it says June 6th in Madison Square Garden. He brought out LL Cool J. They performed that song Bells, which I was kind of indifferent about. I love LL Cool J, and I was kind of indifferent about the song. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I was just like, I don't know about that record in this space and time to be second or third on your album. It's like a mixtape song. It's not a song that you lead the album with. So I'm not mad at it, but salute to him for having LL Cool J. He also had Big Sean, Bono, Jelly Roll on the album, Andrea Bocelli, and his sons, this and that and the third. The album was 19 songs. It was too long. Most of that was garbage, and I put 7 of them songs. I try to remix it in my mind and do a 7-song remix to see if we can save the joint. I barely could put 7 songs together. That's on my other video. I did it. It's in my. You can go back and watch it. It'll probably be in the link below. So yeah, man, that's the numbers on this, and I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent to you, but I feel like that's a triumph in a way. But also for all the hype that it was supposed to be, this is the vaunted, the Carter 6 that we've been waiting God knows how many years to get, and it's what, 7 years, and now we got it. He been teasing it. Had a pre-save links. Was it 3 years ago, and it just dropped. So I think that Lil Wayne is at the end of his rope. I think that he might want to, if he does regroup, he might want to do it with a whole new attitude and a whole new team. I think the album was all over the place, and for my money, I would not be a happy fan if I was a fan of Lil Wayne in this situation, though. But let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. Make sure you head on over to black-yeti.com. You got to put a dash in it, black-yeti.com. Check them out, see what they got going on. They ship all over the country. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live talking about things like this. We will be talking about this. Tune in on all my social media channels. It's called The What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz. We be talking about urban situations, fun stuff, hip-hop, shows, everything, sports, and it is what it is. All right, 9:15 every Wednesday night. All right, I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.